Hi and welcome. In this video lecture we are going to derive the time domain specifications. So in time response analysis, the time domain specifications are the key parameters. So it is all describing about the response of the system. Okay. We are considering all the systems are under damping condition. So we are assuming also the systems are having minimum order of 2. So that is why we are always considering the second order underdamped system. For any kind of time response analysis, we are for ideal case of derivation, we are considering the system is second order underdamped system. So obviously this waveform you can see now. So this response we already derived for the case of second order underdamped system. Actually this is the step response of second order underdamped system. Step response is nothing but the response what we are getting for the step input to the system. Okay, step input is nothing but somewhat constant input. Over the time the input is somewhat constant. Okay, so without disturbing the system, we are giving some equal constant input. So that is why we are checking, we are deriving the responses for step input. Okay, time domain specifications. We see the time domain specifications. The very important time domain specifications are delay time, TD, rise time, TR. This here. Okay, peak time. Is TP, and peak overshoot percentage MP, and settling time TS. Okay, so these five parameters are commonly called as time domain specifications. Okay, so time domain specifications, which means delay time, is nothing but, okay, these are all time related parameters. Sorry, these four parameters domains are time related parameter. This peak overshoot is nothing but somewhat amplitude related parameter. Okay, so you can see the response of second order underdamped system here. So this is the line, red mark, the line we are saying that required output. So obviously it is the unit step response, so it is 1 over here. So if you are giving unit step input for the second order underdamped system, okay, so one thing you have to be very clear, we are assuming all the system are second order and all the systems are under damping condition. That is why we are considering this waveform as well as its equation for all the derivation. Fine. So these five parameters, say delay time, rise time, peak time and peak overshoot, settling time, these five parameters are the factors which are useful to find out the time response of the system what we are studying. So what is delay time? Delay time is nothing but the time. This is the time period the system taking to cross the 50% of its final value. Okay, which means that we need to get 1 as output. So this is the time period for reaching 0.5. It is not actually the reaching time, it is the crossing time. Okay, so at first time it is crossing 0.5 at TD time. Okay, so it may be get oscillated. So it may be crossed 0.5 one more time and one more time. For n time it may be crossed. So that is why I am saying it is not reaching the 50% of final value, it is crossing the 50% of final value. Very first time it is crossing the 0.5 amplitude, means this is the delay time. Okay, so rise time, similar to the delay time, it is crossing the final value, 90 to 100% of final value. Okay, so final value is here is 1. So whenever the curve is crossing the amplitude 1 for very first time, I am denoting it as TR. Peak time to reach peak value. There is a difference between peak value and final value. Okay, final value is here, but the system response is reaching the peak value is here. The time is TP. Okay. Peak overshoot. Peak overshoot is nothing but some kind of percentage value. So actually it is a ratio between the peak value and the final value. Okay, so how many percentage it is somewhat higher than the final value. It is our final value. Okay, so it is our final value. So how many percentage of amplitude we are exceeding the final value? That is actually the calculation. It is actually represented in terms of percentage. Okay, so if you are representing any value in percentage, it is very easy to quantify. That is why we are representing this magnitude, this peak overshoot in terms of percentage. Settling time. So settling time is TS. Okay, so this is nothing but it is a time period. Absolutely, it is a time period. Time to reach. I am saying here as reach. Okay, reach and stay in 2% or 5% allowable error. Okay, see, my system, my second order underdamped system is getting peak value here and is somewhat it is somewhat oscillating over here, and finally the oscillation is getting reduced, and at one time it is somewhat okay with us. Okay, the response is somewhat okay with us. It is very nearer to our required output level, is it not? If you are keep going zoom in this particular portion, there will be a difference between the set point level, set point and the actual response. There will be a small deviation between these two terms. Okay, this is the zoom view of this portion. Okay, so I am saying this is what 2% error. Okay, if you are expecting 100 volt output from your system, the system is just oscillating between 98 to 102. This is what we are called as 2% error. Okay, so if you are your system is if you are expecting 100 volt from your system is producing somewhat oscillation between 95 to 105 volt. This is what we are called as 5% error. So we are setting that it is not possible to get 100% output, but they are fixing one allowable error value. Okay, so this is very important, 2% or it may be 5%. Okay, so 2% error or 5% error, this is what we are calling it as allowable error. Okay, so within that we can say we almost reach the final output. Okay, so these are all the main time domain specifications, and very important to discuss here is about the transient response and the steady state response. Okay, so up to this period we can say this is transient state. After this period, this is an assumption actually, so this is what we are called as steady state. Transient state is nothing but somewhat oscillative. Steady state is nothing but some kind of minimum allowable error. The system producing the output with minimum allowable error, 2% or 5%. So this is what steady state, this is what transient state. Okay, if you are plotting this time response for your system, we can measure these kind of parameters like rise time, delay time, peak overshoot, settling time. Likewise, you can measure the parameters. Okay, after measuring the parameters, you have to design your closed loop system, okay, to reduce these parameters, because we absolutely not needed this transient response. We directly need steady state response, but after some period only, after some transient response only, it is possible to get this response. So our objective is to reduce this response. How to reduce the response? We need to find some parameters. Okay, so if you want to control if you are controlling the parameters, the transient state may be varied, may be minimized. So find the delay time, rise time, peak time and peak overshoot. Peak overshoot is a very important term. Okay, so if your system is having very minimum amount of peak overshoot percentage, 10 to 20% means the system is working well. So if you are testing the system by giving step input, the system is producing 80% of maximum overshoot. Then think what is the damage the system will meet. So that is why. So these 4 parameters, also settling time. Settling time also we need to take care of that. Okay. So if you are finding these TD, TR, TP, percentage MP, TS, your main objective is you need to design your system to reduce the delay time, to reduce the rise time, to reduce the peak time. Very important thing, to reduce the percentage MP, to avoid the unwanted damages to the system. You need to reduce the percentage MP and also reduce the value of TS. Likewise, you have to carry out your design. Okay, so if you are designing the system is well performing, means the delay time, rise time, peak time, percentage MP, TS should be minimized. So if you are making the system with minimum amount of this time domain parameter, means you may design like this or you may design like this. Okay, I think this is the good performance. Okay, so that is the main objective of these studies, time domain specifications. Okay, and also during this steady state period there will be an error. I told you right now, 2% error, 5% error. Okay, so generally it is called as error. What we are called as steady state error. Okay, so related to time parameter, we are having some time domain specifications like these 6. Related to error, we are also having one more parameter like steady state error. So amplitude wise, we also take care of this term also, steady state error also, to be minimized. For getting the better response in steady state period, we need to reduce the steady state error. So nearly 2 to 5%. Okay, it is better to keep at 2% itself. Very minimum error value. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Thank you.